kind of money that flies around in this country is actually very outrageous and unbelievable as well, because a House of Reps summoned CBN and NNPC bosses over unremitted 3.2 trillion naira. You can imagine, we are not talking about millions here. Neither are we talking about billions. We are talking about trillions. And these bosses are yet to respond to the unremitted 3.2 trillion naira crude oil revenue. I don't know. And yet the country keep borrowing and borrowing on a daily basis. What are they borrowing for? The money in this nation alone can feed 5 other nations. So what are we really borrowing for? And yet we allow individuals to keep embezzling the funds and the resources of this dear country, Nigeria. It is so unfortunate and painful that things are not really working well as though they are supposed to, because really Nigeria is not supposed to be like this. When we're talking about Nigeria, Nigeria is supposed to be compared with the likes of Canada, Australia, America. Those are the countries that Nigeria should be compared with because of the kind of resources that Nigeria has. But yet everybody is feeling, oh, Nigeria is not grown to that extent, or Nigeria is not mature enough to, be compared to those nations and all of that. Nigeria have enough resources, natural resources that countries, if other African countries have the kind of natural resources Nigeria has, my dear, I believe that Nigeria would not even be recognized in Africa, let alone in the world, because we are not making use of these resources. We are just allowing these men to embezzle the funds of this country. Now, a House of Rep has summoned them and asked them to remit 3.2 trillion naira for crude oil revenue. And even if that money is even remitted, where will it go into? That is another thing. So there's really a very big problem, a very big vacuum that we are yet to find who will fill that up. These are the things going on in Nigeria. Anyway, there's more details to this and I'll bring that to you shortly. But before then, please, if you have not subscribed, ensure you hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. All right here it says that House of Reps summoned CBN and NNPC bosses over unremitted 3.2 trillion naira crude oil revenue. It says right here that Mele Kyari, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, and Godwin Emefiele, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), have been summoned by the House of Representatives to explain the reason for the failure to transfer $19.25 billion, that is 3.24 trillion notes of revenue from crude oil sales in 2014. Wole Oke, chairman of the House Public Accounts Committee, issued a subpoena following an audit consultation by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The committee had accused the GMD of the NNPC the week before last of refusing to respond to an audit request made against the company for alleged illegal withdrawals from the dividend account of Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited, totaling about $20.3 billion. Kyari, who has not yet appeared before legislators on the NLNG issue, has rejected the allegation elsewhere. In its 2014 report, the OAUGF stated that the review of the NNPC mandates to the CBN regarding domestic oil sales and reconciliation in the statement of the Technical Committee of the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, which met in January 2014, revealed that a total of about $3.24 trillion was not transferred from the NNPC to the Federation account during the reporting period. The consultation further stated that the estimated cost of oil product losses was about 55 billion 964.68 and 99 billion naira, which is about 50% of the cost of managing the pipeline of 110.402 1,541.88 billion naira. The names of the contractors, the allocation, and the amount paid to each of them for the maintenance of the pipeline were not available for audit verification. More than 31% of 826,506.27,231.26 dividend by 2,636,390,514.77.18 billion naira multiplied by 100% of the crude oil sales made during the year, which have been allocated to other expenditure. Except for direct production costs, which are indicated in the NNPC report for 2014, the breakdown of other expenditure was not provided for the audit. The above analysis shows that the Federation account loses 31%, which is an estimated additional cost to the total amount that should have been accumulated in the federal account. The Auditor General added from the total income of 3.2 trillion naira NNPC as at 14 January 2015, which was paid into the Federation account during the year, the company deducted the amount of about 826.5 billion naira NNPC, that is 660.139048.061.39 billion naira to NNPC and others for the estimation of the subsidy, the losses of the crude oil and products, and cost of managing the pipeline at sources respectively, resulting in the net retained amount of 2.4 billion naira for the Federation account shown in the table above. All these deductions as source for the NNPC were not approved by FAAC. The OAUGF therefore asked the Federal General Accountant to inform the GMD of the NNPC in order to explain the blatant withholding of income from domestic oil sales by the company. According to the auditor, there was no positive response to similar issues raised in 2012. Accordingly, the Chief Accountant requested the NNPC GMD to disclose the names of the contractors, location, amount paid each for pipeline maintenance. For verification purposes and procedures used by PPPRA to repay the subsidy to the oil traders should be used for the NNPC rather than the NNPC deducting the subsidy at sources. The office also stated that the NNPC withholding tax deduction should be stopped from now on, as this would be contrary to Article 162.1 of the 1999 Constitution, which states that all revenue shall be paid into the account of the Federation. While the committee examined the Auditor General reply, Oke and the members of the panel insisted that the heads of the NNPC and CBN should consult individuals, as the Auditor General was unable to provide sufficient evidence of the audit consultation on such a scale. In a related development, it is expected that Kyari will also respond to other audit requests, including grant payment totaling about 248.27 billion naira that were not foreseen in the 2014 Budget Act. Rather, were reported as Ali Ndume, a senator representing the Southern Senate District of Borno, said that President Muhammadu Buhari is betrayed by kleptomaniacs who were an important part of his government. Well, guys, that is it from here. What do you have to say about this? This is how our money keeps flying around and it is left in the pockets of just a few. So that is it. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you. Do have a pleasant time.